The J6 people too, though, right? That's what they're going to say on the other side. That is weaponized lies also.
I'm not referring to that. I'm talking about the New York trial, and now the Democrats on our side. There were some that were gleeful, calling it like now he's a convicted felon and those things. And now for our party, we were talking about criminal justice, and we are now talking about second chances. And now all of a sudden now you're like, well, he's a convicted felon and all these things. And now clearly, again, both of those trials, the Hunter Biden one and the trial in New York for Trump, that was politically motivated, and those kinds of charges would have never been brought unless one side could realize that.
A powerful senator, a fiery TV host, and a lawsuit shaking up daytime television. What happened between John Fetterman and Sunny Hostin on The View? And why is this battle over free speech and defamation something we should all care about? Let's dive in. John Fetterman, the outspoken Democratic senator from Pennsylvania, is no stranger to making waves. Known for his bold takes on justice, equality, and government accountability, he's built a reputation as someone unafraid to challenge the status quo. On the other hand, Sunny Hostin of The View is equally recognized for her sharp opinions and unapologetic style. But this time, their paths have collided in a way no one saw coming. Fetterman is suing Hostin and The View producers for defamation, claiming that comments made during a taping of the show damaged his reputation and caused broader harm. This isn't just another celebrity spat or tabloid headline, it's a legal showdown that could reshape how the media approaches its responsibilities.
People do have sympathy for that, but a lot of people are angry with him about it. What do you say?
I think it's undeniable that the case against Biden was really politically motivated. I think it's true that the truck for Trump that was political, and in both cases, I think a pardon is appropriate. And I really think collectively, America's confidence in these kinds of institutions have been damaged by these kinds of cases, which is to be weaponized against our political.
John Fetterman has always stood out in the world of politics. Towering at 6'8" and often seen sporting casual hoodies and gym shorts, his down-to-earth demeanor contrasts sharply with the polished image of many of his peers. But don't let his laid-back style fool you. Fetterman is fiercely committed to advocating for justice, equality, and transparency. Whether it's pushing for criminal justice reform or defending marginalized communities, Fetterman has built his career on fighting for what he believes is right. He's never been one to back down from a challenge or shy away from speaking his mind. When Fetterman appeared as a guest on The View, most people expected a lively exchange of ideas. The show, after all, is known for its spirited debates and candid conversations. But things took a surprising turn. During the taping, Sunny Hostin reportedly made comments that Fetterman found not only offensive, but damaging to his reputation. While the exact remarks are still under wraps due to the ongoing legal proceedings, Fetterman alleges they crossed the line from opinion into defamation. Defamation isn't just about hurt feelings, it's a serious legal claim. Fetterman's lawsuit argues that Hostin's words have caused reputational damage, which could have long-term consequences for his career and public standing. He's also holding The View producers accountable, claiming they failed to intervene or prevent the comments from airing. This isn't just a personal dispute, it highlights the tricky balance between freedom of speech and responsible journalism. In today's fast-paced media environment, where every word can be amplified instantly, the line between expressing an opinion and causing harm has never been blurrier. Fetterman's case raises important questions about media ethics. Should platforms with massive reach, like The View, be more cautious about what they say? Or should public figures like Fetterman expect to take criticism as part of the job?
What I recall about him is when he was asked about the pandemic, during the height of the pandemic, when people had lost loved ones, were missing from their Thanksgiving table, like my table, immunized. And as it turns out, he was not. Research, he has his Google MD like I do. He's allergic to something in the vaccine, but he was huddled with his teammates. And I think
now all of a sudden now you're like, well, he's in all these things. And now clearly the Hunter Biden one and the arc for Trump, that was politically.
With millions of loyal viewers tuning in daily, The View isn't just another talk show. It's a major platform with the power to shape opinions and influence narratives. Every word spoken by the hosts carries weight, especially when discussing political figures like John Fetterman. Fetterman's lawsuit argues that platforms like The View need to be held to higher standards. He believes the producers and hosts have a responsibility to ensure their words are accurate and don't cause undue harm. When opinions teeter into the realm of misrepresentation or defamation, it can have real-world consequences, not just for the individuals involved, but for public trust in media as a whole. This case brings up a pressing and complex question. Where does free speech end and defamation begin? On one hand, free speech is a cornerstone of democracy. Public figures like Fetterman should expect scrutiny and criticism. That's part of being in the spotlight. But on the other hand, words that cross into false or harmful accusations can have lasting impacts, from damaging reputations to influencing voters. Fetterman's legal action forces us to examine the fine line between protecting open dialogue and holding people accountable for harmful statements. It's a debate that feels especially relevant in today's media-driven world, where misinformation spreads like wildfire. At its core, this lawsuit isn't just about Fetterman or Sunny Hostin, it's about the broader effects of misinformation on public perception. Think about it. When a major TV show puts out questionable or damaging narratives, it doesn't just harm the individual being discussed. It erodes public trust in media institutions, makes people question the credibility of information, and fuels a cycle of division and doubt.
They had a placebo group, and they had a group because they wanted for military readiness to see if against coronavirus. But the people who got the flu shot were 36% more likely. That's not a lone study. There are major studies that say the same thing. If you get the flu, look, all you have to do, Alan, and this is what Cochrane said.
This case underscores the urgent need for responsible journalism. Platforms like The View wield enormous influence, and with that comes a responsibility to ensure their words are grounded in truth, not just opinionated rhetoric. Sunny Hostin has always been a polarizing figure. As one of The View's most outspoken hosts, she's never shied away from sharing bold, sometimes controversial opinions. Her sharp takes and unfiltered commentary have earned her both fans and detractors. For some, her directness is refreshing. She's seen as someone unafraid to speak her truth, even when it's uncomfortable. For others, however, her approach can come across as abrasive or even reckless, especially when discussing sensitive topics. So, did Hostin's remarks about Fetterman cross a line, or was she simply expressing a valid opinion as part of her role on the show? That's the heart of this legal battle. Hostin's defenders argue that her statements are protected as free speech and represent her personal views, which she's entitled to share. But Fetterman claims the comments weren't just opinions, they were defamatory and damaging to his reputation. This question, where to draw the line, will likely play a central role in the courtroom. How much freedom should public figures like Hostin have, and where do we draw the line when it comes to potentially harmful speech? Media outlets like The View don't just share opinions, they shape narratives and influence how millions perceive the world. That power comes with responsibility. Unchecked or careless statements can harm reputations, fuel misinformation, and diminish public trust. The risks of sensationalism. In the race to grab headlines, accuracy often takes a back seat. The 24/7 news cycle thrives on drama, but sensationalism can have lasting consequences. This case has the potential to set a precedent, reminding media outlets of the importance of accuracy over attention-grabbing rhetoric. For Fetterman, this isn't just about a single TV segment, it's about accountability. He believes Hostin's remarks cross the line from opinion to defamation, and he's using this lawsuit to take a stand against harmful media narratives. Fetterman has built his career on justice and fairness, and this lawsuit reflects those principles. For him, it's not just about defending his own reputation, it's about ensuring public figures are protected from misleading or damaging narratives in the future. This case highlights frustrations many people feel about mainstream media's credibility. It's part of a larger conversation about the role of journalism and the responsibility to report accurately in a world where trust in institutions is already fragile. If Fetterman succeeds, it could establish clearer boundaries for how media outlets discuss public figures. Stricter guidelines. High-profile shows like The View might adopt tighter editorial controls to avoid similar legal battles in the future. The lawsuit isn't just about legalities, it's about the broader conversation around free speech and accountability. It highlights the fine balance between protecting open dialogue and ensuring accuracy. In an era where misinformation can spread instantly, the case serves as a reminder of the critical need for responsibility in media reporting. John Fetterman's lawsuit against Sunny Hostin and The View is more than a personal dispute. It's a wake-up call about the importance of accountability in both traditional and digital media. With public trust in institutions already on shaky ground, this case could reshape how media outlets approach their responsibilities. Where do we draw the line between free speech and defamation? And do you think this lawsuit will push media outlets to rethink their approach to public discourse? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into stories that matter.